Hey guys, I'm back. I am watchless and braceletless. Who is this weird guy in front of the camera? Well, behind the camera. Who are these weird wrists? Whatevs. Okay, so it is a rainy gray day, which I'm actually really enjoying, but we're gonna look at knife number 2 from WithArmour. If you recall last time, we took a look at the Mammoth fixed blade. It was a pretty nice fixed blade. It worked out well. I ended up using that in a separate giveaway for my fine Patreon supporters. And one of them is going to receive that one direct to his doorstep, just in recognition of all the cool support that they give this channel. Today we're going to look at one of WithArmour's folding knives. This one is called the Torpedo, is the name of this model. And when we look at it, I think you're going to find that it bears a striking resemblance to something we've seen before. Same WithArmour box, nice box, magnetic, closure. Open it up. Got some WithArmour literature, we saw that before. But warranty information, a little bit about them, contact info, cool. Inside the box, foam insert to hold it all nice. We've got the actual knife. Now the reason I'm going a little faster today than I usually go is because it's been raining all day and I'm trying to not get rained on here, but this is the Torpedo. So just on the outset, fit and finish on this knife is lovely. Everything, tolerance is really nice and tight. You can see you've got, took the extra step, put a really nice red liner in behind the G10 scales on top of the steel frame. Just about perfect centering there. Really nice inset barrel spacers. Usually they're kind of right up on the surface there. Those are in there now. Stylistic choice, I guess. Flipper, decorative pivot. I want you to take note of that though. You'll see why in a little bit. We've got thumb studs as well for deployment. Two-tone finish on the blade. Really nice, crisp sculpting on the G10 there. So good grippiness to it. And the weight is pretty good. It's a nice weight. But I just want to draw your attention to a couple features. Number one, does this clip shape look familiar to anybody at all? Number two, do these thumb studs look familiar, the shape? And does this pivot? Because when I open this blade up, I think you're going to see that it is, like I said, it's very similar to another knife that we've gotten from someone else. But, just to finish the exterior look. So the deep carry clip is nice, but it's just oddly placed. It kind of gets a little bit in the way of the lanyard hole there. Interesting choice. I guess it's just where they had to put it. Okay. Retention on that clip is strong. It's very strong. It's nicely done. So I guess we'll just go ahead and open it up. So what do you guys see when you look at this knife? Because I'll tell you what I saw when I looked at that knife. And this is not they copied or anything. I have a feeling that they use kind of the same manufacturer or some of the same design specs. But you guys remember the Ravencrest Fury? Okay, take a look at that pivot design. Take a look at those thumb studs. Take a look at that clip shape. And take a look at that blade. Now you can see that it's not, obviously it's not a one-for-one swap, but clip, same basic shape, right? Thumb studs, incredibly similar. Pivot. The biggest difference though, the blade shape is similar, but you've got a much more dramatic sweep and then recurve on the Torpedo, which gives it kind of a meaner look. In terms of cutting power or anything, I don't know. I can tell you that the Torpedo has a weight advantage in terms of being a little bit lighter in your hand. But in terms of blade size and everything, they're just about the same. Even the two-tone finish is very similar. They're both made of 440 steel. So, I don't know if we're looking at similar manufacturing plants or anything like that. Again, I'm not accusing anybody of copying anything. I think that they probably work with a similar design bureau. I'm thinking like Russian aircraft. This similar design house, similar production factory, something like that. It's just interesting. This is one of my all-time favorite Ravencrest knives. So when I saw the design of this, when they were offering me samples to look at, I really had to try it out and take a look. Now there are some distinct differences though too with the two knives that I'm going to point out. One of them being the way that the liner lock is set. I really like the lock here, the way it extends just a little bit and gives your thumb a little bit more grab on the Torpedo. Handle shape is obviously pretty different. I think it's very ergonomically designed here on the Torpedo. It's comfortable on the Fury, it is. But there's just, this one just seems to hold the hand just really nicely, and lots of really effective jimping and the sculpting to get a really good grip. So I just want to point out the similarities there, because I know I'm not the only one that noticed, I'm sure. I'm going to put this one away now. We're going to focus on the Torpedo itself. So again, you've got the kind of manufacturer's mark, you've got the model number and the steel on the other side of the blade, but other than that, I mean, nice clean look. Real interesting fuller here. Normally the fuller doesn't extend all the way through the blade. It might not be technically a real genuine fuller, but I mean, it's cool. So really, I mean, I would classify this blade shape as a modified drop point, kind of with recurve in it. I like it, you know, just like I liked on the Fury. You've got that nice wide belly there. You know, the recurve shape actually extends the physical area of blade for when you're slicing, as opposed to just one straight path. So this more intense recurve technically is more blade area that you're going to be slicing with, you know, by a fractional amount, but still. So when you have to do, you know, your slicing, rope cutting, stuff like that, that's going to give you just a little bit more cut power there. What they are missing is the jimping up on the spine of the blade, which I would have liked them to continue. Now, don't get me wrong, this jimping right here is pretty good. It feels rugged, you can really get a good grip, especially when you combine it with the jimping right beneath the flipper, but I would love it to continue up onto the blade. Handle is a bit thinned out compared to the Fury, but again, the design ergonomics fits in there really nicely. One of the things that they did with the clip that's a little bit different, if you take a look, the clip juts out just a bit more on the Fury and bites into the hand. Just a little bit more than this does. So you got, again, a more comfortable feel, which I really like. And the balance on it, really nice. So whether you want to use thumb studs or you want to use the flipper, and whether you prefer to do it push button or light switch, it's a nice clean flip either way. No blade play, everything is really good, solid. Again, fit and finish, great on this. It's a nice blade to have. Looking on the inside, I don't see any skeletonization of the liners to lighten it up, but then again, it's a bit lighter anyway, like we said. Fits big hands well. It is a pretty aggressive looking blade if you were going to take it out in public. Some people worry about that, some people don't. It's just something to consider. But, I mean, functional. The mechanics on it are great. It's very comfortable to use. Let's begin just by testing out this lock. Well, let's take a look at the lock first. Now, it's a little bit dark out here because of the gray skies, but you can see fairly early lock up there. And really no lock travel there. No stickiness. Blade centering has not moved. No blade play, and lockup goes back to where it was. Very nicely cuts through this paper. I love it. So whether you're using the recurve or the nice big belly, this just wants to slice. And it feels really nice going through. Like there's a feel to it. And those of you guys who do this just to test know what I'm talking about. Like a nice solid, grabs the paper and cuts. It has that nice, good cutting feel to it. Very nicely done. Better, in fact, I'd say, than the edge on the Mammoth right out of the box. What I do want to see is just a little bit of a, chop. Very nicely balanced. I mean, the blade feels really good, and it just chops right through. So let's do a little bit of a pull through right here. A little more effort than I was expecting, but not bad. And now I'm going to try to position this right on the edge. Yeah, and of course the recurve chops pretty well too. And now the pull through, I'm expecting this to just fly through there, so with no effort whatsoever. Let's do the big belly. Yeah, cool. Very happy with the way it cuts, chops, slices. It's a nice option because the lightweight, and you know, it's a decent size in your pocket. It's not overly thick, but at the same time, it gives you enough to get a good grip on. And somebody can take all this out of context and make it as dirty as you want. Please go ahead. But I like the WithArmour brand. Now, again, we're gonna have debates over the 440C steel. And I'm gonna say again, and those guys who watch the channel that make knives as well, we all know and we'll say it again and again and again. Yeah, the kind of steel is important, but so is the heat treat. And a good heat treat on a simple steel like 440C can make all the difference in the world. And from what I've seen so far from WithArmour, their heat treat's pretty good. Their blade preparation is pretty good. It's not just the type of steel, but it's the way that they prepare it and the way that they finish it. It's on bearings. I forgot to mention that in the first place. Just the action on it. And it's another one of those that as it breaks in, it just gets better and better and better. Personally, I like thumb studs over flippers. It's another one of those where the action just gets better and better, even on this just short period here in the video breaking it in. This is definitely something I could see myself carrying around. It's got a blade shape that would let you do some hard use and everything, but I would classify this more as a, I hate to overuse the T word, but tactical / EDC kind of knife. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, what you guys think. So I think this is another good offering from WithArmour. It is curious to me how the design is so similar, yet so different to the Raven Crest. Just curious that it came out that way and all, but it is what it is. I'd be hard-pressed to pick one over the other. A lot of it would go to size and weight, and you know what I was going to do with it, but it's a good knife. Cool. Is this one going to be in the giveaway, or am I going to keep it as a reference, you know, part of my reference collection? I'm not really sure right now, to be honest with you, but we'll see. We'll see how the response is with all of you guys. Be sure to check out all the links in the video description. Link to the Discord server that the Golden Atlas set up, where we have some really fun discussions, and it's where I've started screenshotting and showing off all the new douche canoes, mostly from the Knife Box Sucks videos, but we have a really good time in there. And not just me. I mean, a lot of the times I'm not there, and it's just other people that watch the channel, connecting, talking about stuff. It's not even about me in the videos. I mean, a lot of the times it's about welders. We have a welding crew in there talking about welding, and just veterans talking about veteran stuff, and talking about knives they want to buy or knives they have, or we have a gun section, and whatever. I mean, it's just a good time. Check it out. There's a link, of course, to my Patreon page where you can look into joining that awesome team. I'm about to do a couple more giveaways just for those guys as well. Links to my Facebook page, please check that out, like that page and follow there, because I do some announcements on that. I'm about to start a whole new poll on the Facebook page, and it's a great way to get in touch with me. People like to ask me questions and stuff there, and of course my various email addresses. But as I go prepare to get 2 cool flashlight test videos ready for tonight, I want you guys to remember that number 1, I appreciate every single one of you. Number 2, you are all totally awesome. And I'll be back again real soon.